My name is Sheila Holt Orstead. I'm a member of the Holt family. We reside in Dickson, Tennessee. Dickson is about 40 miles west of Nashville, and we own a 150-acre farm of air property that has been in our family since post-slavery. This was the part of town that the slaves were made to live in. On this farm, in 2002, I went home for Christmas and found that my families and neighbors had cancer. It disturbed me to the point of returning to Virginia, where I now live, and getting a full physical. I too had cancer. My dad's brother's wife, my dad's brother, and many neighbors, my cousins, all had cancer, and now I had it too. I started to look for answers. I didn't have to look far. The Dickson County landfill was next door. It was 57 feet from our property, and it was there that the county and the city had allowed companies to dump toxic chemicals for years, and it was seeping into our well water, and so we had been drinking, unknowing to us, we had been drinking contaminated water laced with trichloroethylene, or TCE. TCE was used as a degreaser to wash down equipment, and it's also a cancer-causing chemical. TCE is called one of the most toxic chemicals on the planet. It is in a lot of drinking water, and it contaminates a lot of drinking water in landfills across the country. And we know that most landfills are placed in minority communities. So it's been a problem for years. When I was trying to find out about TCE and about how long it had been in our water, I found documents where the white families in my neighborhood had been told that the trichloroethylene was seeping into their well water. The black families were told that the chemical was there, but it didn't cause adverse health effects, and it didn't exceed any drinking water standards. So my family drank trichloroethylene without knowing the dangers, whereas the white families were notified, and some of the documents say within 48 hours they were removed from the water. It took my family almost 40 years. And by then the damage was done. We lost my father to cancer, and I have had a mastectomy and has battled cancer twice. And on next month, plan to have another mastectomy. This has been a battle. It's been not only health issues, but the race issues are very glaring. And not just the race issues, but the human rights issues, because we found that the state of Tennessee, when they were testing, they made sure in the state of Tennessee's records, they note that the dogs didn't drink the contaminated water. They were more concerned that the dogs not drink contaminated water than they were the black families. I found another set of letters where someone at the state level actually found that we were drinking contaminated water and went to his supervisor and asked, what was the state of Tennessee going to do about the fact that we were drinking contaminated water. Her reply was, "We'll get with EPA and find out why they told them that that it wouldn't result in adverse health effects, or why they said that it didn't exceed any drinking water standards." And he goes and talks to EPA, and EPA basically says they're not in a position to deal with this right now. Maybe they'll come back in a couple of years and deal with it, but for now, they're not going to deal with it. And so the guy goes back to his supervisor and says, "What are we going to do?" They're not going to do anything. And she says, "We're going to let them handle this however they choose." And my family feels like at that point they decided, you know, they chose they signed their death certificates. They knew what was going to happen. They knew that we shouldn't have been drinking the water, and they allowed it to happen. And so today we struggle. We're trying not only to get justice for ourselves, but we're trying to bring awareness to environmental justice communities across the country. We're participating in any activities that draws more attention to this modern day civil rights issue, and we need help. We have been called the poster family for environmental racism, and because there's such glaring, disproportionate